I came into it in a time, in the 80s in Alberta where it was already established. And I think for me, it was more shocking to have some of those things where they said we're going to take them away, like in '88 when I went on strike. So for me, that was a bit of a surprise. Like, I hadn't been here for the historical stuff, like to know what it was like before. And actually, my experience with being on strike was similar. It was a great time to come together as nurses, to stand together. Just being out on a picket line and having people holler out the door, "We love you, nurses!" And it was sort of an affirmation for what you had done in your career. And I think for many nurses, they just don't get enough of that. And those were the days of Margaret Etche and real, like I remember going to my first union meeting and in Edmonton and being blown away with this woman who was like, she was like the Steelworkers of America. Like, I had never dreamt that the United Nurses of Alberta was going to be like that. And we stood and sang songs and held hands, and wow, I was just really amazed. And I thought it was really good. I loved it. And potluck dinners and supporting each other. I mean, some people couldn't afford to be on strike, and so we would have these dinners together, and there was grocery money given out to people who couldn't afford their groceries, and childcare was organized, and it was a pretty amazing time, even in '88. And that's when they were starting to try to whittle away, and break the union.
So what was the outcome of that strike?
Well, we paid a lot of fines, but unions from all over the world helped to pay those fines. There were people, I think Margaret Etche actually there was a threat of her spending some time in jail, along with some other union people. I think it really strengthened the union from my perspective and the solidarity of nurses. But, you can never really, the value doesn't come in the pay that you get, or there's all those other things. We kept the professional responsibility clause. We strengthened the health and safety part of the contract. We did get a bit of a raise, I think 3% or something like that. So in my mind, it was a success. And we had some great potluck dinners and got to know each other better.